Hi, I'm Shelley Johnson. I'm really grateful you're here during this Holy Week. Let's hear some holy words and give them space to do a work in us. Well, this last Sunday began a week that is the week on the Christian calendar. It is the week where we look back and we remember all that Jesus chose to do on our behalf. And it began with Palm Sunday, the day that Jesus returned to Jerusalem on a donkey, fulfilling prophecy, but also proclaiming himself as Messiah, knowing that he was riding toward his death. Everything Jesus did that day and for all the days he was here on earth were very plotted, very intentional, all part of the grand plan that he and his Father had. And over, we see Jesus choosing to align his will with the Father's, to stay on the path, to stick with the plan, even though it meant for him much suffering and sorrow. Even that day that he rode in on the donkey, he came in through the sheep gate. And that gate is the very one where everyone led their lambs for the Passover sacrifice through that gate. The Lamb of God, the one John the Baptist proclaimed as the Lamb of God, rode in through the gate where the lambs walked through as our sacrifice, the final sacrifice. He cleared the temple courts because of the defilement of a holy place. He was making a statement, not losing his temper. He was angry, but righteously so. And of course, he did it in that moment, on that day, knowing that he was propelling the Jewish leaders to move forward with their plot to kill him. He continued to preach and teach. And then on Thursday, he gathered his disciples together in the upper room for their final Passover supper together. It's called the Seder. And every part of that meal is highly symbolic to remember the night that God covered his Israelite families with the blood of lambs on their doorposts so that the angel of death would pass over them as he went into Egypt to kill all the firstborn sons. There were thousands of Jews in Jerusalem that Passover, there to commemorate, there to see Jesus. The atmosphere was electric, much tension, and yet Jesus paused all of it to remember, to meet with his disciples one-on-one one last time, and to help them understand what's to come, to leave them images and symbolism and actions that they could carry with them for years and millennia to come, such as during the meal, as the third cup is being passed around the table, Jesus declares this cup of redemption as now a new covenant in his blood. That his blood, as it is poured out, would be a covering and atonement for all sin, for forgiveness of all who would believe in him. It's a practice that we continue to do every time we take communion. Jesus was so intentional. And that's why for this Holy Week, it's important for us to soak into the story, to imagine ourselves in the place of the disciples who were still a bit confused and yet sad because of the way Jesus was acting and talking, and they could feel something was different, but they still didn't quite understand what was to come. It's important for us to feel the sorrow, to anticipate what's coming. Because on Friday, Jesus is crucified. The skies go dark. The earth quakes. The veil is torn in two. And he breathes his last. The more we remember this Holy Week, the more powerful Easter Sunday will be. The more powerful resurrection will be, not only that day, but in our lives. Because we continue to carry Jesus' Spirit in us. We have resurrection power in us. And it will mean so much more if we will remember this Holy Week all that he did for us. Sunday is coming. See you next week.